Kaida Kimura had a crush on a girl in his class, Aimi, but she could not see well and often forgot her glasses. One morning, when the class seating changed, Kai's seat was put next to Ai's. As soon as they sat, I told him not to mind her face because she squinted to see better. Kaidi was surprised because it was the first time she talked to him and he felt he was getting closer to her. Then I asked him to help find her history book. Kaide got nervous and gave her his own book, but I moved her chair next to him because she wanted to share the book with him. Kaidi only pushed the book toward her. AI brought her face very close to the book to read because that was the only way she could see. Later, Ai came even closer and asked who he was because she could not see his face clearly. Kaidi told her his name and Ai thanked him for helping, then put her face back in the book. Even after class ended, Kaidi kept thinking about these things. Later, when Kaid went to the locker room, he saw Ai having trouble putting on her shoes. He asked, and Ai said her shoes were too big, and then Kaidi understood she was wearing his shoes by mistake. Before this, Ai's friends had offered to help her because they knew she could not find her locker, but Ai said she would be fine. Then she really got lost, opened many lockers, and picked one that looked like hers, then took the shoes from there. I gave Kaide his shoes back and apologized. Kaidi helped her find her locker. Then he saw a frog on Ai's shoes and thought maybe she saw it and thought the shoes were green. He removed the frog and gave Ai her shoes, but Ai could not tie the laces well. Kaidi bent down and tied her laces for her. In the end, I told him he helped her a lot today, and for Kaidi, this day became special because he felt he was one step closer to making a relationship with Ai. After that, I suddenly brought her face very close to Kaidi and said she wanted to see him well so she could remember his face. This made Kaide's heart beat faster. Then Ai said she still could not see well, so she would look at him again tomorrow and left. At night, Kaidi found out that Ai lived very close to the school, and he thought that because he talked so much with her today, the day became special for him. He hoped in his heart that Ai would forget her glasses again tomorrow, so he could help her again. The next day, Kaid heard Ai telling her friend that her glasses were broken. That day, there was dodgeball in class, and Ai said she would play too, even though she could not see well. Kaede was scared she would get hurt, so he stood in front of her to protect her. During the game, I grabbed him from behind and used him as a shield, and Kaidi froze, so he was the first one out. Later in class, Kaidi felt tired and sleepy. He looked at Ai, and she had her face close to the book as usual, but it turned out she was sleeping. When the teacher scolded her, Kae tried to wake her up but did not dare to touch her. In the end, he told the teacher that Ai forgot her glasses and could only read with her face close to the book. The teacher accepted this. After a while, Ai woke up by herself and mistook Kaidi for her dad. Then she leaned on Kaidi's shoulder and went back to sleep. Kaidi wanted this moment to last longer, but the teacher came and hit Ai on the head to make her sit straight. The next day, Ai came again without glasses, and Kaidi started worrying about her. She came very close to his face, and Kaid got shy. He felt relieved that maybe she could not see his red face, but Ai, with a small smile, said now she knew what he looked like. Then Kaidi found out Ai was wearing contact lenses. The next day, I was on lunch duty, and again, she was not wearing glasses. Kaidi thought if she worked alone, it would be a problem, so he came to help her. While putting stew in the tray, Ai kept dropping it again and again. Kaidi said he would handle the stew job, but I insisted she would do it herself. She started again, and Kaidi thought she looked very different in the apron. Then Kaidi told her to put the stew slowly, and I took this advice very seriously. I realized lunch duty was hard because she got hungry while working and could not stop herself. Kaidi asked if she liked stew, and I said yes. Then she asked Kaidi the same, and Kaidi said yes, even though he actually liked curry more. At that moment, a boy came and asked Ai to give him more meat. Kaidi did not like this because Ai's work was getting harder. I reacted strangely and started giving him more potatoes, and he happily took them. Then I accidentally gave him too much meat as well because she thought the meat looked like potatoes. After serving everyone, they sat down to eat. I gave Kaidi a bowl full of stew and quietly told him she saved a lot of meat for him to pay back for his help today. Kaidi remembered A talked about paying back, and he could not believe she really did this for him. I also said stew tasted better with more meat, and Kaide decided in his heart he would eat stew every day now. Then I told him not to tell anyone, but the others on duty already knew she was saving for Kaidi. When everyone sat to eat, the thing I saved, thinking it was meat, turned out to be potatoes. A few days later, I forgot her glasses again and got sad because she had spent a whole week without forgetting them. She had contact lenses, but she did not like them because they moved around in her eyes. Still, she decided to wear them to get used to it, but stopped at the last moment. Kai told her not to force herself and that he would protect her. Then he himself felt he made it too dramatic. During this, he saw Ai's eyes getting watery while trying to put in the contacts, so he gave her a tissue. The next day, Ai came wearing her glasses, but she was still squinting. Kaidi got nervous and started thinking many things. I greeted him, so he asked why she was squinting. A said her glasses were foggy. At that moment, another boy came into class wearing glasses, and Kaidi saw his glasses were also foggy. I got scared and told Kaidi a fat stranger had come into the class. Kaid told her it was their classmate Tokita. I said she did not recognize him because she could not see his eyes, and then she wondered if other people also could not recognize her like this. Kaid said he could recognize recognize her, so I replied that only he was important to her. Hearing this, Kaid's mind went in many directions, and he thought maybe he really had a chance. Sometime later, A asked him to share his contact, and Kaidi happily gave it. I explained that she often forgot her glasses and might need his help someday, so it was better to have a way to contact him. Kaidi thought she could also get help from her other friends, but I said she felt shy depending on others. Then she said it was easier to trust Kaidi, and hearing this, Kaidi got even more nervous. A few days later, Kaidi woke up in the morning and got a message from I asking if he could come to the station. Kaidi reached there quickly and found IE standing alone on the sidewalk. When Kaidi got close, A told him she forgot her glasses on the train and could not see anything. Then she said she had to go to an important place and wanted Kaide to take her there. Kaidi thought this was like going out together, and he agreed right away. As soon as they started walking, A suddenly grabbed his hand. Then they walked holding hands. I took him to a bakery because she wanted to eat a cake that was only available on weekends. There, A even had trouble finding the cake near her, and she looked sad. Katie stepped forward to help and offered to feed her the cake, and I really opened her mouth and took the cake. After that, I took him to a glasses shop because she had ordered new glasses for herself. When she wore the glasses, she could see clearly. Katie thought now she would not hold his hand anymore. But when he was about to leave, A held his hand again and asked if he was in a hurry. Kaidi said he was not. I said she wanted to stay with him a little longer because now she could see his face clearly, and Kaidi got shy. Then they walked around the area for a while, and Kaidi was surprised by everything. In the end, he left I near her house and kept watching her as she went, and he felt maybe all this was like a dream. On the other side, I thought in her heart that Kaid was really a good guy because he did not get annoyed even for a moment anywhere. I was happy she got new glasses, but then she realized she spent all the time just looking at Kaidi. The next day at school, Kaide saw IE was wearing a mask and her glasses were foggy. I said she had a cold. Kaidi liked her even in this state. At the same time, I heard some boys making fun of Tokita because he was also wearing a mask, so Aya started feeling shy herself. She finally took off her glasses, and when Kaidi asked why, she said she forgot them at home. After school, Kaidi saw IE calling something a cat and saying meow. Then he found out it was not a cat but a plastic bag. I said this cat was not saying meow back. Kaide came from behind and made cat sounds so I would think the cat was answering. It got happy and started petting the plastic bag, and while Kaide got close, I accidentally petted his head too. Then the wind blew and the plastic bag flew away, and I thought Kaide came here to play with the cat. The next day, Kaidi came to class and saw a boy helping IE find her book. This boy was Azuma, who was very popular at school. When Azuma put his hand close to IE's hand, Kaidi thought now he had no chance left. Then Kaide heard IE calling Azuma by his name by mistake, so he realized she did not really recognize him. Azuma cleared things up. I got nervous and apologized, saying she was only this casual with Kaide, so she made a mistake. The next day, Ai forgot her glasses again, and her friends worried that she squinted so much her forehead would get lines. Later, Kaide came to class and went to greet her, and I looked at him with wide open eyes, which made Kaide's heart beat faster. Then I squinted again. She explained she was trying to avoid squinting her forehead, but that way she could see even less, so she stopped. Then she calmly greeted Kaede. The next day, Ai told Kaede she kept losing a word game against Asuka, so she wanted to practice with Kaede to win. Kaede, even though he was nervous, started saying words, but Ai quickly understood he was going easy on her. She got angry and said not to be soft with her because she really wanted to get better. Kaede said they should play the game faster. After a few rounds, Ai's turn came at K, and she made the word Kaid, kun. Then she remembered that was a forbidden word, and so she lost, but she did not realize how much effect she had on Kaede. Later that day, they were on cleaning duty with some other classmates. Kaede saw a cockroach near Ai. I could not see it because she was not wearing glasses, and Kaede did not want to scare her. He told Ai to come to his side, but I did not know where to stop and came very close to him. At that moment, another girl screamed after seeing the cockroach, and I got scared and came into Kaed's arms. One day when it was raining, Kaede came to class, and Ai said she forgot her glasses again, but the glasses were on her head. Kaede told her, and I dropped them, and Kaede quickly picked them up and gave them to her. Then I asked him to help her wear them. Kaede hesitated, and when he slowly moved his hand toward Ai's face, her hair touched his fingers, which made him even more nervous. The next day, Ai found a letter on the floor and picked it up, and just then, Kaede passed by. I asked him to see what it was. Kaede looked and saw it was for Azuma, and there was a heart sticker on the envelope, so Kaede understood it was a love letter and got worried. When Ai found out it was for Azuma, she quickly took the letter back and walked to the class. Then she went straight and gave the letter to Azuma herself, and people in the class thought I wrote the letter. Seeing this, Kaede got even more worried. He went to his seat, and I asked why everyone was making so much noise. At that moment, some girls asked Aya if she liked Azuma. I calmly said yes, and things got bigger. Then Azuma started leaving the class, so Kaede followed him to tell him the letter was not from Ai. Kaede saw from a distance that Azuma was reading the letter and laughing, and Kaede did not understand what was happening. He went back to class and saw girls gathered around Ai, teasing teasing her, and Kaede's worry got worse. Later, Katie thought maybe Adai really liked Azuma because he looked good and was good at sports. He did not understand why this mattered so much to him, and he started looking sad. I saw his face and quickly asked if he was okay, so Cade came back to his senses. Then he asked I what she thought about Azuma, and I was surprised why everyone was asking her the same question. A said she did not understand why people talked so much about Azuma, but if people paired them together, it was not strange because she had gotten close to Azuma and liked him. Hearing this, Kaede got confused about what kind of like she meant. At that moment, Azuma came back and gave I a reply to the letter, which made Kaede nervous. I could not read the letter herself, so she gave it to Kaede. Kaede opened the letter and saw it said, "Kaede likes you too, I-san." Then Azuma told the class that I gave him someone else's letter, so he replied and returned the favor. I asked Kaede what the letter said, so Kaede avoided the truth and said Azuma was just thanking her. At night, Kaede stood on his balcony thinking maybe I said the like thing for him. On a cold day, Kaede went to the vending machine to get coffee, and I was there too. She said she wanted hot cocoa, but because she did not have her glasses, it was hard for her. She pressed a button, but got coffee by mistake, and when she tasted it, she spat it out because it was bitter. Since she did not drink coffee, she gave the same can to Kaede. Kaede got nervous because Ai's lips had touched the can, so he did not drink it. A few days later, Kaede was running late for school, and he saw Ai was also late and struggling without glasses. When they stopped at the signal, A was in bad shape and could not recognize him. She said she did not want Kaede to see her like this, which made Kaede even more nervous. Later, A hurt her foot, so Katie picked her up and took her to the nurse. I apologized for troubling him so much and said she was embarrassed because she had gained some weight. In the nurse's room, Kaede told her to lean against the wall while he got a chair, but I accidentally stepped on the weighing scale. Kaede accidentally saw the reading and quickly said I was not heavy at all. Hearing this, Ai got shy and told him to forget what he saw. A few days later, Kaede saw Ai trying to put a paper on the notice board. He got angry. The teacher made her do this job. Kaede offered to help but could not reach the top himself. At that moment, Azuma came and put the paper up. Kaede felt bad he was not tall enough. Then I told Kaede she liked his height because it was easy to see his face, and Kaede thought in his heart he was fine with his height. Later, Kaede saw Ai crying while reading a book and got worried. When he sat next to her, I told him she was studying for exams with her friends, and she laughed at her own reading mistakes. Then she laughed so much that tears came from her eyes. Kaede felt relieved. These were happy tears. Then he wished he was there at that time. At the same moment, he heard Ai's small laugh and liked it. In class, some girls showed a heart-shaped cloud in the sky. A got interested, but then remembered she could not see well. Kaede saw she got sad, so he secretly took a picture of the cloud and sent it to her at night. I got happy with him. The next day, Kaede's classmate Samaya came and said she found Ai's glasses at the bathroom sink. She put the glasses on Kaede and told him to give them to Ai because he sat next to her. Wearing the glasses made Kaede dizzy, and he accidentally pushed Samaya against the wall. At that moment, I passed by and thought Kaede was doing something with Samaya, so she quickly pushed Kaede away. A few days later, Ai came to school wearing glasses, and Kaede told himself she would not need him much today. He felt a little sad thinking this, but accepted maybe it was better. Then the problem was, Kaede forgot his book at home and asked Ai for help. I quickly moved her desk next to his. Then Ai herself got a little surprised because it was the first time she sat so close to him while wearing glasses, and her reaction made Kaede shy too. On the weekend, Kaede went with Ai so she could choose an extra pair of glasses. Because Ai could not see herself well with the trial frames, she wanted Kaede to tell her which frame looked best on her. I tried different frames one by one and showed them to Kaede. Kaede thought she looked good in every frame, so he could not decide. Then he told himself he should give a better opinion. At that moment, Ai came close to him, and it got even harder for Kaede. In the end, he told the truth that it did not matter to him which frame she chose because he liked her anyway. Then I decided to get an extra pair of the same frame she usually wore. The next day at school, Ai told him she slept wearing her new glasses and they broke. Kaede realized things could get ruined quickly with her. A few days later, Kaede went to the shopping area to buy groceries and saw the Valentine's Day decorations. He wished I would give him something. At that moment, Ai appeared. She was not in uniform and wore a long coat. Kaede got nervous seeing her. He also saw Ai forgot her glasses at home, but Ai said she remembered this area, so she would be fine. Then I asked what he wanted from her, and Kaede realized she heard him. He tried to change the topic, then thought the decorations might make things clear. At that moment, I asked why everything looked so red here. Then they both went into the supermarket. A said she came to buy mayonnaise, and Kaede came to buy ketchup. Kaede thought it became a shopping together situation. Then Ai's attention went to the Valentine's Day stall. I asked again what he wanted from her, so Kaede pointed to a stall behind to change the topic, but that was also a Valentine's Day cookies and chocolate stall. I started looking at chocolates, and Kaede tried not to make it obvious these were for Valentine's Day. Then he quickly picked up a box and took Ai away from there, and then realized he was holding Ai's hand. I said his hand was very warm while hers was cold, and that was good if she wanted to make chocolates. Kaede asked if she was going to make chocolates, and I said yes, because Valentine's Day was near. Then I also realized the red decorations were for Valentine's Day. Kaede tried to change the topic again, but in the end, AI understood he wanted her to give him chocolates on Valentine's Day. Kaede prepared himself in his heart for rejection, but Ai said she was going to give chocolates to all her friends on Valentine's Day and would make extra for Kaede too. Hearing this, Kaede felt A only saw him as a friend, but he was still happy she was his friend. On February 14th, Kaede kept himself calm by thinking being a friend was fine. Then AI came to give him chocolates, but remembered there was nothing left in her bag. Kaede said it was okay, but AI got very sad and sat down. At the same time, Kaede was thinking about telling her his feelings. Then I suddenly asked if he was free after school, and Kaede could not say anything. After class, I told him she could not leave him out because he was her friend too, so she wanted to give him something to make up for her mistake. Then she said she would do one thing he asked, meaning she would do whatever he told her. Hearing this, Kaede got nervous because he had to decide right away. He calmed himself and said he was relieved. I could not see his face. He wanted to confess his feelings, but could not say the words, sat back down, and apologized. A misunderstood, but Kaede told her he was okay and wanted to say it when A could see him clearly. I said she would try not to forget her glasses next time and would wait for him until he was comfortable. Then she took out a chocolate from her pocket that she had saved for herself and gave it to Kaede. She told him to take his time and tell her when he wanted. At that moment, Kaede decided in his heart he would tell her by next year. That night, I stood on the scale and was surprised to see her weight had increased. Then a month passed and White Day came. Kaede got ready to give something back to I. At that moment, I came and told him she did not drink the cocoa in the morning, and also that she got a lot of chocolates on Valentine's Day and ate them all, so now she was being careful. She told Kaede that if he even thought about eating chocolate, he should stop her. Hearing this, Kaede understood he probably could not give her the chocolates he brought. At that moment, Azuma came and told Ai to hold out her hand. When Ai did, Azuma put a bag of sweets in her hand. Azuma told Ai today was White Day, and he was giving something back to everyone who gave him chocolates on Valentine's Day. Hearing this, it became hard for Ai to stop herself. When she started to eat a sweet, Kaede tried to stop her, but Ai made an excuse that she was not wearing her glasses. Kaede tried a few times, then realized I was doing it on purpose. He was surprised I could be this clever. Then he firmly said he would keep her chocolates with him, but I could not stop herself now and decided to taste one. At that moment, Kaede took out his bag and told Ai to eat this one first and said he brought it for White Day. I tasted the chocolate and made happy sounds. Kaede got shy and he did not know what to feel about the situation. The next day, Kaede saw Ai looking carefully at a paper. It was a point card that could get free sweets, but it expired tomorrow, so it had to be posted today. Kaede knew the post office was close, but I had never gone that way, and without glasses, she could not see the way well. Kaede did not want her to get lost, so he said he would take her to the post office, and I happily agreed. At the same time, Kaede's friends invited him to the new arcade. Kaede wanted to go too, but he refused because he was going with I, even though he himself did not fully understand how the plan was made. A heard this and started feeling worried. Later, in class, I kept thinking about this and finally told Kaede she would go to the post office alone. Kaede got worried because I was not wearing glasses, but I lied that she was wearing contacts. In class, the teacher asked Ai to read a part from the book. As usual, I put her face close to the book to read. Still, she got stuck on a word and was scared Kaede would change his plan because of her, so she pretended to cough to hide it and continued reading. After that, she had to go to the next class. Her friends offered to help, but I refused because she wanted to show she was fine with contacts. On the way, she got lost and admitted in her heart that being alone was hard, but she did not want Kaede to miss going with his friends because of her. She started feeling lonely. Then when Kaede came there, AI quickly said she was not lost and he did not need to worry about her. Kaede comforted her, so I finally admitted the truth that she could not see anything and lied because she did not want Kaede to skip the arcade. I also admitted that when Kaede did something for her, it felt really good, and in her heart, she wanted to keep him only with herself. Hearing this, Kaede got very shy and took her to another postbox near her house. There, I asked why he liked the arcade. Kaede said there he could play comfortably and no one bothered him. Then he left I at her house and went to the arcade with his friends, and in his heart, he accepted that he also wanted to keep I only with himself. A few weeks later, Kaede stood at the opening ceremony of the next school year and felt last year passed very quickly. He looked at I and was happy she was still in his class, even though I looked very sleepy. Then the principal read the names of students with perfect attendance, and both I and Kaede's names were called. At that moment, Kaede realized I often squinted her forehead, and he was used to it, but others might think it was rude. He thought he should help her with this, so he told her about a pressure point in the palm that helps to relax. They both could not find it, so I said Kaede should show her himself. Kaede held her hand and started to feel how soft Ai's hands were, which made him nervous. I noticed and told him to think of something fun. Kaede let go of her hand and thought he should not worry about Ai because people would see for themselves what she was like. At that moment, the principal called Kaede's name. When he came back with the certificate, he remembered the time he spent with Ai and felt calm. Then Ai was also called to the stage. age, and Katie understood the year went by fast because he was happy with IE. A few days later, everyone gathered for the new seating. Katie wished in his heart that someone would sit next to I who could help her like he did. Katie's seat was again in the back, while I moved to the front and Azuma sat next to her, which made Katie a little jealous. I asked Azuma where Katie was sitting, and Azuma told her he was in the same place as before. At that moment, a girl told IA she took her seat, so Azuma gently held IA's hand and took her to her real seat. Seeing this, Katie got nervous. The girl sitting next to him offered him water, but he ignored her. In the end, A's seat was next to Samaya, and Katie felt relaxed because he knew Samaya would help I. Then Kaide saw IE looking back at him, so he got nervous and started talking to the girl next to him, but that girl suddenly stood up and went to IE. The girl told II she also could not see well, so would she change seats with her? I quickly agreed, and so she came back and sat right next to Kaede. Kaede asked why she did not keep her seat, and I said it was hard to sleep in the front row. She also said if she kept looking back during the lecture, she would get scolded. Kaede understood in his heart there was another reason, but he himself could not accept. It was really that. A few days later, in art class, Kaede and Ia became partners to draw each other's portraits. I forgot her glasses again, so she had to come very close to Kaede's face to see him. But like this, she could not draw, so she asked Kaede if she could draw him as she saw him in her mind. Kaede agreed. I drew a potato on the paper and said it was done. Kaede still got happy and wanted to put it in his room, but the teacher said it would be kept in the collection room. Later, AI was in the restroom when Samaya came in. I had to get very close to her face to see her. Samaya noticed Ai's eyelashes were long and her skin was soft, so Ai got nervous and told her not to look at her so much. When Samaya left, I stood in front of the mirror and reacted strangely out of nervousness. Then when Kaede came to class, he found I deep in thought. He greeted her, and I, as usual, came close to see his face, but then remembered Samaya's words and quickly moved back. Then she shyly apologized, and Kaede got nervous too. A few days later, Kaede ran home as if it was something very important because he had Ai's glasses. What happened before was that I was in class. Her friends came and told her to go home. I got busy talking to them and left her glasses on the desk. Later, Kaede came back and found the glasses on the desk. He thought about what to do, then messaged Ai. I was with her friends and told him to just leave the glasses on the desk, but because the next day was the weekend, Kaede asked if he could take the glasses to his house. I agreed, and so the glasses came to Kaede. At home, Kaede took the glasses very seriously. He avoided his mom in the kitchen and went straight to his room. He put the glasses on the shelf behind him, but even while reading, his attention kept going to them. Then he thought it was like AI was sitting there watching him, so he turned the glasses the other way so they would not face him. When Kaede had Aya's glasses, he thought about trying them on, but he stopped himself and scolded himself. On the other side, A was reading a book at home wearing her backup glasses and thought the glasses she left with Kaede might have marks on them. She did not know Kaede already cleaned them, and then he tried to focus on his studying. At that moment, I called him. She thanked him for keeping her glasses safe and asked if they were dirty, then said maybe he did not look at them that closely. I also said that because her glasses were at his house, it felt like she was there. After the call, Kaede tried to sleep, but his mind kept going back to the same thing. A few days later, I came to school again without glasses and, as usual, got very close. This time, she tripped and fell right into Kaede's arms. She quickly moved away and apologized. Then, while talking, she said once her forehead almost hit someone, and once, when she bent close to someone, their lips almost touched, then quickly explained it was with her dad. She was very young then, and it never happened after that. Saying this, she sat down embarrassed. Later, Ai's friend Asuka came and told her hair was messy. I got worried because she could not see without glasses, so she wanted to go to the restroom and look in the big mirror. Asuka said it was okay, and class was about to start, but I could not relax. Then Ai asked Kaede if her hair looked strange. Kaede said everything was fine. Hearing this, I felt satisfied and dropped the subject, and Kaede was surprised she especially asked him for his opinion. A few days later, I saw Kaede pressing his shoulder in class and asked why. Kaede said his shoulder was stiff. I came close and said she was good at shoulder massage, but Kaede nervously said he was fine. I insisted and told him her parents loved her massages, so Kaede did not refuse. I started massaging his shoulder, and Kaede just silently endured it. After the massage, I wrote about it in her notebook and said she was noting down what she could do for Kaede, even without glasses. Hearing this, Kaede got even more restless. A few days later, A came to class, and Kaede was sleeping. She came very close to wake him up, and because it was the first time she saw him sleeping, she watched him for a few moments. Then she tried to hold his hand, but at that moment, Kaede woke up and got shy. I said she wore glasses today, so she wanted to see him clearly, but now she was embarrassed herself. Then she said if he had seen her, she should see him too, but Kaede quickly changed the subject. On another rainy day, I was going to school with an umbrella and met Kaede. I said she forgot her glasses again, and in the rain, it was even harder to see the way. At that moment, she stepped in a puddle and her shoes got wet, which made her upset. In class, she told Kaede to look the other way for a moment. When Kaede turned his face, I quickly took off her socks. When Kaede looked back, he quickly looked away to near the window. I said now he could look, but Kaede said today he would just look at the rain. Another day, Kaede was going home and saw Ai sitting alone in the park. I told him she forgot her keys today, so she was waiting for her mom to come home. Then she asked Kaede to push her on the swing. Kaede nervously stood behind her and slowly started pushing the swing. A swung happily. After a while, Kaede thought maybe I would look strange because of him, so he suddenly stopped the swing and got close to her. I looked up and looked straight at Kaede's face, which made Kaede even more nervous. Kaede told her about the wind, so I calmly lifted her skirt a little to show she was wearing shorts underneath. Seeing this, Kaede got shy. The next day in class, something fell from Kaede's desk, and I quickly picked it up. Kaede saw it was his App Store card. He worried I might misunderstand, but I did not even know what it was. Kaede told her it was an Apple card, and I gave it back to him. At lunch, Kaede felt bad for lying, but told himself he did not want to involve IE in game stuff. At that moment, EI gave him a piece of apple because she thought the card was for buying apples, and Kaede felt even more embarrassed. That night, I called and asked where the bathroom was. Kaede was surprised. Then I realized she called Kaede by mistake instead of Asuka. She apologized for waking him up so late. Kaede said it was okay and told her he was already awake. The call ended, but I accidentally called him again. This time, Kaede said he would help. I said she was at a sleepover at Asuka's house. She could not find her glasses, and when she went to find the bathroom without glasses, she could not see anything in the dark. She also said she was scared because she watched a horror movie before, so she wanted Kaede to sing something to calm her down. Kaede started singing. At that moment, he heard a noise in his house, so he quickly hid under his blanket. I thought he went silent. She put the phone to her ear, and Kaede spoke in a low voice, which made I shy. When the noise stopped, Kaede told her he was muted by mistake, and I laughed because she thought he fell asleep. Then, I turned on her phone's flashlight, found the bathroom, and told Kaede she would mute him for a while. But before going, she softly said his name like Kaede did, and this made Kaede nervous. After she finished, I came back, thanked Kaede, and said she was hanging up. The next day, everyone gathered for swimming class, and I forgot her glasses again. Kaede wondered what she would do in the water, then saw I had power swimming goggles. At that moment, Kaede's friend told him to stare less, or he would get caught. At that moment, Asuka told I that Kaede was staring at her the whole time, and hearing this, I got very shy. A few days later, Kaede saw I eating ice cream outside school. I told him not to tell anyone. Kaede stood next to her and thought it felt nice to see IE in the sunlight. Then he saw the ice cream stick in I's hand had win written on it. When I was about to throw it away, Kaede quickly grabbed her hand to stop her. Then he realized what he did, so he quickly let go and told her the stick had a winning mark. I asked if he liked winning so much. Kaede said yes, so I gave him the stick and ran away. Kaede stood there thinking if he should use it for the prize or keep it for himself. A few days later, Kaede saw a cat at school and followed it for no reason. The cat took him to the back where he saw Azuma with a girl, so he quickly hid behind a tree. He understood a confession was happening there. At that moment, the same cat came near him and started meowing. Then Kaede saw IE also coming that way, and she was also meowing, and he understood she was looking for the cat. I kept meowing again and again. Then the cat finally came to her and stopped at her feet. I still could not see well and kept meowing until the cat rubbed against her feet. I's attention went to the people talking in front, but the cat stopped her from going further so she would not interrupt. At that moment, Kaede thought if he confessed to IE, what would she say? Then I started coming that way again. Nervous, Kaede quickly pulled her to his side and held her in his arms, and at the same moment, the girl confessed her feelings to Azuma. Azuma replied he liked someone else. Then I understood. Kaede stopped her on purpose so she would not interrupt their talk. Kaede decided in his heart he would tell IE his feelings soon. A few days later in class, the teacher told everyone to make groups for the field trip. Kaede kept looking at IE, who had already made a group with Asuka and Maho. Kaede's friend saw this and told him to join IE's group because she might forget her glasses again. Kaede also realized people saw him as connected to her because he always helped her. He wanted to stay close to IE so he could help if needed, but he could not go and talk to her directly. Then he remembered a group of 6 could be made, and since they had 6 people, his friends agreed to join her group. On IE's side, she was also paying attention to Kaede again and again, but Asuka told her not to forget her glasses if she wanted to go outside. I said she had a plan. When Asuka asked what the plan was, I said she would keep an extra pair of glasses in her bag. Then Asuka teased her that she wanted to invite Kaede because she kept looking at him, and hearing this, IE got shy. She admitted she really wanted to go with Kaede, and she did not know Kaede and his friends were standing right there. Then Asuka told Kaede that IE might forget her glasses. She wasted money on tours, and the biggest thing was she got lost, so everyone was trusting him to take care of IE. I apologized to Kaede and said she had not even said yes yet, but Kaede told her he came just to ask if he could join them. A said she would be happy, and then everyone sat together to make plans. I told Kaede she was very excited for the trip with him because she felt safe with him, and hearing this, Kaede got nervous. At night, I prepared for the next day's trip at home and put an extra pair of glasses in her bag. When going to sleep, she thought people saw her as slow and silly, so she promised herself to be more more careful so she would not be a problem for Kaede. Then, she tried to sleep but could not because she kept thinking about Kaede. The next day, Kaede ran into class and apologized for being late, saying he could not sleep well because he was too excited. At that moment, I also came running and told everyone her glasses broke on the way, but it was okay because she had an extra pair. When sitting on the bus, she took out the extra glasses, and Asuka said now there were only two things left to avoid: getting lost and spending too much money. A looked at Kaede and said she was very excited for today. Then Asuka reminded everyone that I once bought fake glasses because she thought they were cute. At that moment, I realized she brought the fake glasses by mistake and did not bring her real extra pair, but she did not tell anyone. Later in the museum, Kaede realized I could not see well. He felt bad for I because she was so happy for this trip. He thought not to say anything or A would feel embarrassed, but at that moment, A tripped and fell right into his arms. Kaede quickly pulled himself together and tried to distract I by showing her something easy to see. From this, I understood Kaede knew her situation and she got very sad about it. Kaede tried to cheer her up, but nothing made IE feel better. She did not want Kaede to get stuck because of her, so she told him he could go around alone if he wanted. Kaede agreed and gave her space. Later, when everyone was going outside, AI was not paying attention and got separated from the group. She sat alone and got very sad. Then Kaede found her using live location. A quickly started apologizing that she was troubling him too much. Kaede said it was okay, but I broke down and started crying because she felt she always troubled someone in everything. Kaede sat next to her and just listened quietly. After a long time, he told her every day he wished I would forget her glasses. I looked at him and asked why. Kaede came close and said he liked helping her and I should not feel bad about it. On the way back, Kaede started thinking maybe I felt bad about what he said because she stayed quiet after that. Then I told him he was too nice and Kaede saw I put her hand on his hand. A said his words made her very happy and Kaede understood. I did not dislike him. The next day at school, A forgot her glasses again because she was still thinking about what Kaede said. She decided she would depend less on his kindness and took out a pair of one-time use contacts from her bag. Later, Kaede came and apologized for the trip, but I told him not to worry because she would now try to depend on him less. She also said she was trying to wear contacts even though she did not like them. Kaede got happy hearing this. Later, Asuka saw I was worrying more about forgetting her glasses, so she told her to relax because Kaede liked helping her. At that moment, Asuka got a message from Yasaka, who was Kaede's friend, and Asuka got very shy. Then she quietly left, and Maho happily told I that Asuka liked someone. Later, Ai kept thinking about what love meant, but she left it in the middle. Then, when she was going to the teacher's office, she met Kaede. Kaede was happy she was getting used to contacts. I admitted she liked being independent, but she liked it even more when Kaede helped her. Then she put her hand on Kaede's cheek and told him to look at her so she could look into his eyes. But Kaede got very shy, and Ai thought his face looked like Asuka's, which surprised her. I left without saying anything, but on her way home, she accepted in her heart that if Kaede saw her as special, she would be very happy. The next day, she forgot her glasses again. Kaede asked if she wanted to share a book, and Ai happily agreed. She moved her desk next to his. Kaede liked her ponytail and got shy. Then, I suddenly came very close to his face. Kaede moved back and asked why, and Ai playfully said she wanted to see his face, then left with a smile. After that, Samaya came and asked Kaede if he was kissing Ai. Kaede got nervous. Then another classmate said Ai just came close, and she did this every day. When Samaya left, Kaede started worrying people would misunderstand. Kaede reacted strangely out of worry, so Ai came into class and asked what happened. Kaede made an excuse that he was sick. Ai quickly took a mask out of her bag. Kaede put on the mask so Ai would not feel embarrassed. Then he told Ai not to come close or she might catch his illness, but Ai kept smiling at him and kept coming close all day. Kaede got more nervous because Samaya kept looking at him. In sports class, Samaya said she had never seen dating stuff before, so she got excited seeing Kaede and Ia. She asked Kaede again if he really did not kiss Ai, and she did not know Ai was listening. Then Samaya got distracted, put her foot on the ball, and fell. Kaede and everyone quickly ran to check on her and took her to the nurse. In the nurse's room, Samaya thanked Kaede for coming with her, even though actually Asuka told him to come. On the other side, Kaede kept thinking about what Sumiya said and got shy. At that moment, I asked Kaede what he did on weekends. Kaede said he went to the arcade. A said she was only allowed to go with her dad. Then I said she was with Samaya today, so she could not talk to Kaede much, and Kaede realized he was unconsciously giving I less time. Then AI asked if he could allow her to look at his face up close at least once a day, because without that, it was hard for her to work well. Kaede thought it was strange, but saw I was shy, so he agreed. Then he said she could look as much as she wanted, and I took this very seriously. A held Kaede's face with both hands and looked at him closely, and Kaede controlled himself and let her look. After class, AI helped Kaede with cleaning. When I put the broom in the closet, her hair got stuck in the door. Kaede told her, so I started pulling her hair out and asked Kaede to bring scissors. Kaede got nervous, then calmed himself and said he would cut the hair himself and tried to cut as little as possible. At that moment, I asked if he he liked her long hair, but Kaede was focused on getting her hair out. The next day, A was making a ponytail in class and dropped her rubber band. Kaede picked it up for her. I asked if he would do her hair. Kaede said he had no experience, but I said it could be the first time. Kaede hesitantly did her hair, and I sat calmly with a smile. When it was done, A looked in her pocket mirror and said she wished every morning was like this. Kaede asked if he should do her hair at school, but I refused and hinted she wanted this at home. On a rainy day, Kaede was preparing for the cultural festival. I came and asked for a tissue because she got ink on her hands. Then she said after work, he should take a break with her. Kaede agreed, so I sat there waiting for him to finish. Then she started helping put up posters, but she was so slow the glue dried. Kaede said he would put on the glue, and I could stick the poster, but the poster stuck to her hands. Embarrassed, she told Kaede to let her know when he was free. Then she would go to her friends, and Kaede understood she wanted to take a break with him. Kaede went out to get more glue, and I followed him and said she would go with him, and both felt shy. When they reached the art room, A closed the door and said she did not get a chance to see his face today. Kaede got nervous because they were alone in the room. He told her to do it somewhere else, but AE insisted she wanted to see him alone. In the end, Kaede agreed, and he felt maybe he was special to I. When they came back to class, Azuma told Kaede to clean the ink off his face. Maho told IE to clean the ink off her hands. At that moment, Kaede started explaining to Azuma that it was not what it looked like, but Azuma pretended not to understand on purpose. At night, Kaede's mom suggested he get his ears pierced, but he refused and said she also made him dye his hair before. The next day, Kaede thought things like earrings would look better on Samaya or Azuma. On the way to class, he found A bent down on the floor. Kaede asked what she was doing, and I said she dropped a small thing and was looking for it, and that thing turned out to be a small piece of jewelry. Kaede wondered if Ai's ears were pierced and started thinking how earrings would look on her. During the lecture, he tried to look at her ears by getting close, but when A turned to look, he quickly moved back and stopped himself. In art class, I showed him the same thing, and it turned out it was not an earring but a pearl she was using for the cultural festival project. Kaede realized A was good at this work, while he was just making a simple drawing for his project. Then I showed him a needle and asked if people pierced ears with this. Kaede told her people usually used a special tool. I said she liked piercings, but was scared of making holes in her ears. When Kaede told her his mom also suggested it, IE put the pearl near Kaede's ear and said it might look good on him, and Kaede got shy. At night, after this, Kaede started searching about piercings online. A few days later, all the students were decorating the school for the festival. I told Asuka she had to go home before 6 or her parents would get angry, and she also said then she would not get the morning cocoa. But when she saw Samaya teasing Kaede about kissing Ai, she said in front of everyone she would stay at school until 7. Kaede wondered if she was staying late because of him, but then pushed the thought away. Later, Kaede asked IE to help put name tags on the art pieces. As soon as it turned 6 o'clock, Kaede asked IE if she was okay. I admitted she was nervous because her time was 6, so Kaede started working faster. After finishing, he went to get water and found IE's phone on the floor. He picked it up and saw there were many missed calls from IE's mom. At that moment, I started looking for Kaede, but Kaede hid behind the curtain so I would think he already left. When I saw the missed calls on her phone, she quickly left, and Kaede felt sad. Kaede then followed her to make sure she got home safely. He found IE in the locker room, where she was having trouble finding her shoes. She could not even find her locker, so she decided to go home wearing her gym shoes. Kaede took her real shoes from her locker to give them to her. On the way, he heard IE crying. At first, he thought he should leave her alone because he realized she would get scolded at home for being late. Then he changed his mind and rang IE's doorbell. He told IE's mom he accidentally wore IE's shoes because their shoes looked the same, and that was why I was late. Then he gave the shoes and left. He felt strange about it, but he did it so I would not get scolded at home. The next day, I came wearing glasses and said her glasses got foggy while drinking cocoa in the morning. Kaede got happy because he felt his plan worked and no one suspected anything. Later, Kaede read Ai's writing, in which she wrote about recent things. A wrote she spent all her money on a crane game to win a mascot. She also wrote she got home late and her mom stopped her cocoa, but her dad stopped her mom from doing that. Then Kaede saw Ai's cultural festival decoration and thought she was very good at this work. He also saw IE looking at the pincushion he made, and Kaede got nervous. During the presentation, AW left the auditorium. Kaede followed her and found her sitting alone outside. I saw him from a distance, called him over, and said the school looked strange and empty during the day. Then she said she read Kaede's writing and liked that he thought about every word he wrote. Kaede said he also read Ai's writing and liked it, but I thought he was making fun of her. Then IO suddenly pulled Kaede's face toward her. Kaede got nervous, someone might see, but I said it was fine because everyone was in the gym. Kaede said I was wearing glasses today, so she did not need to come so close. Hearing this, AI asked if she had become more stubborn lately because she was spoiling herself too much. Kaede said that was not true, then asked why she wanted to look at him so much. I said it made her feel calm. I said she was looking at him too much, so she would stop herself now. Kaede told her she did not need to stop because he did not mind. Then he gathered courage and said he Kaede also liked looking at Ai, and he put his hand on her cheek. A accepted this and smiled, and Kaede's eyes got watery. Then Ai said he was like her dad because he took care of her so much. That was why she felt safe with him. Then Ai remembered she might get scolded for going outside, but she said if Kaede was with her, it was fine. After the cultural festival, Kaede filled out a future survey. A asked if he wanted to become a gamer. Kaede did not tell his answer. Then Ai started telling her dream and searched her old preschool graduation album in her phone. In it, she wrote she wanted to marry her dad. Then she showed Kaede an old picture, and Kaede got shy. He asked how old Ai was in the picture, and Ai quickly hid the picture. Then Kaede asked what her dream was now. Ai said she wanted to keep a fish. She also said she wanted to get married, but not to her dad. Ai said she was practicing to be a good housewife, and she learned how to make omurice. She showed Kaede a picture of the omurice she made. Kaede saw a line on the egg and asked if Ia tried to make a hand, and Ia got embarrassed. That night, Kaede took out his old preschool album to see what he wrote as a child. In it, he wrote something like a 9-to-5 job, and he felt strange about himself. Then his mom called him for dinner and put omurice on the table. Kaede tried to make something on it like Ai did on her omurice, but his mom said it looked like something else. Then Kaede understood why Ia got embarrassed. While eating, he wondered how Ia's omurice would taste and started imagining her as his wife. The next day, Kaede got a form to write what he wanted to do after graduation. He wrote he wanted to be Ia's husband, then quickly tried to erase it. At that moment, A came and saw the word husband. She asked whose husband he wanted to be. Kaede changed the subject and said it could be anyone. Ai's mood got bad and she went to her seat, like she wanted Kaede to say her name especially. Later, in home economics class, groups were made to cook food. Ai's group was with Azuma and her friends. Kaede started feeling jealous because Ai was working close to Azuma. He did not know Ai was asking Azuma how to make the biscuit look like an arcade token, because she knew Kaede liked arcades and wanted to make him happy. At that moment, Yasaka told Ai that the arcade token biscuit might not be good for Kaede because last time the arcade machine was broken. Kaede heard this and felt embarrassed his friend was telling his stories. Ai asked Yasaka what Kaede was like at the arcade. Yasaka said Kaede was very quiet while playing. He tried to get snacks from the crane game, but then gave the snacks to his mom. Yasaka also said Kaede seemed fine now, so Ai kept making the biscuit in the shape of a coin. Azuma teased Ai that she was slow even with glasses and laughed at her reaction. Then Ai saw Azuma making a bird and asked why. Azuma said there was a woman living in his neighborhood and he was making it for her. I understood Azuma liked her and asked if he needed to tell her that. Azuma said if he did not tell, he would have no chance. After class, A said goodbye to Azuma. Kaede thought now he had no chance with Ai. He got upset and wanted to leave, but Ai came after him and suddenly held his hand. Then she had trouble breathing, so Kaede quickly got her water from the vending machine and she felt better. I said she was happy she was wearing glasses or she would not have found Kaede. She also said Azuma called her slow, so she felt she was slow even with glasses. Kaede did not want to talk about Azuma and started to leave again, but Ai gave him a pouch with the biscuits she made. Getting them made Kaede feel better. Ai shyly admitted she made the biscuits in the shape of coins for him, then called herself slow and felt bad. Kaede told her he did not dislike these habits of hers. Both of them got shy. That night, Kaede remembered Ai's old picture, so he looked at his own old album photos. He thought his pictures looked strange and quietly put them in his notebook. The next day, the same old picture from Kaede's notebook accidentally fell near Yasaka's feet. Yasaka quickly showed the picture to Ai. Ai had forgotten her glasses, so she could not see the picture well. Yasaka told her it was a picture of Kaede when he fell from the bars and was crying with a bloody nose. Asuka saw it and said Kaede's hair was black at that time. Ai brought the picture very close to see it and pressed her face into it. Then she suddenly realized how this looked and got nervous. Kaede also realized Ai's lips touched the picture, and now he did not think the picture was that bad. After class, Ai told Kaede to go home with her. While putting on his shoes, Kaede thought they had been going home together a lot these days. Outside, Ai asked if they could stop at the park. Then she told him to wait by the bars, and she would go home to get her glasses. After Ai left, Kaede remembered he fell from the bars before, so he tried to do better this time. After a while, Ai came running and said she wanted to see his picture again because now she had her glasses. But she could not find the picture in Kaede's bag and understood it was probably left in the classroom desk. I got sad, then realized Kaede could show her the same scene by doing it on the bars now. Kaede agreed. I took out her phone to record, and Kaede did a good flip on the bars. I clapped for him. Then she quickly took a selfie with him and happily said she would send it to him and he should not show it to anyone else. Then I gave him her glasses and tried to do a flip on the bars herself, but stopped right away. Then when she took her glasses back, she saw Kaede's nose was bleeding. The next day, I came to school wearing the fake glasses. Because they were just for show, she told Kaede to try them on. Kaede felt shy because I just wore them, but I said they were clean. Kaede put them on. I could not see his face well, so she told him to take a selfie and send it to her, but Kaede said he would not do it here. I said he should take the glasses home and send the selfie when he felt right. Then I looked for the the case in her bag and found her real glasses. She put them on and saw Katie clearly and got very happy. Later in class, Katie kept noticing the smell of Ai's hair. After a while, Maho came and started doing Ai's hair while Kaid focused on his notebook. When he finally looked, Ai's hair was in 2 braids. Seeing this made his heart beat faster, and he kept looking at her again and again. In swimming class, he kept looking at her too. Then he saw Ai hesitating to put on her swim cap. In the end, she put on the cap, and Yasuka told Katie to stop staring at her. At lunch break, Kaidi saw Ai's hair was a bit messy and thought maybe she would open it. He told her there was a grain of rice in her hair. Ai got annoyed at this and opened both her braids, which made Kaede feel sad. Later, in class, Ai put her head on Kaide's book and fell asleep. Kaede saw her hair was a bit wet, and when she got up, the dampness got on Kaede's book too. Ai quickly apologized and started tying her hair, but then saw Kaede looking at her, so she stopped and told Maho to do her hair. Kaede then understood Ai already knew he liked her braids. On the way home, Ai asked Kaede what fish he liked. Kaede said salmon. Ai said she was interested in lumpfish and liked flapjack octopus the most. Then she suddenly stopped and made a sad face. Kaede thought maybe she was bored with him and wanted to go with Maho or Asuka. Ai suddenly asked what kind of clothes he liked, then quickly said she would figure it out herself and walked ahead. Kaede started to turn back, then heard a boy talking to Ai. Ai came close to his face because she could not recognize him. Still, she could not recognize him and asked his name. He said he was Ace from her old school. Kaede realized they already knew each other, so he got sad and left. The next day, Ai forgot her glasses again. Kaede offered to sit with their desk together. Later, Ai told him she met an old classmate yesterday, but could not remember his face, and maybe she forgot her glasses that time too. Hearing this, Kaede started thinking what would happen if Ai forgot his face someday. Later, Kaede helped another classmate carry the teacher's things. That girl said she was having trouble getting used to new contacts. Kaede asked if she ever forgot to put on contacts. The girl quickly understood he was talking about Ai. She said Kaede was like Ai's dad because he took care of her so much, and also that one day there could be a time when Ai suddenly stopped forgetting her glasses. After class, the teacher told everyone to start preparing for the entrance exams. Ai again asked Kaede to walk her home. On the way, I thought after summer they would not meet much because the exams would be near. Kaede also said he would go out of town during summer break and told Ai not to forget her glasses while he was gone. I promised she would not forget. Kaede started thinking that if she started remembering her glasses, maybe she would forget him too. The next day, Ai told Kaede she finally saw her old classmate Ice's face. She said Ise used to tease her for forgetting her glasses. She also said Ise was the opposite of Kaede because Kaede always helped her. Hearing this, Kaede started thinking what he should do so Ai would not forget him. Later, Kaede told Ai he would walk her home today. On the way, both of them felt strange. Kaede suggested they go to the park. In the park, Ai tried to do a flip, then remembered she was not wearing shorts today. She did not go on the swing either. Then she asked Kaede to go on the slide with her. When they both sat inside the slide, there was not much space. Ai told Kaede to just stay with her. Then she said she'd been stopping herself for a few days, but summer break was starting tomorrow, so she wanted to look at his face today. She gently held Kaede's face with both hands and looked at him. Then she told him to hold her face the same way at the same time. Kaede thought before it felt enough to just help her, but now he wanted something more. Then Ai told him to take out his phone so she could share a picture by Bluetooth. She sent him the same selfie she took on the bars day and joked he was very sweaty. Then she said his hands and face were warm too. Kaede thought maybe Ai really would remember him. When they came out, Ai told him not to forget her during the break. As Ai started to leave, Kaede suddenly grabbed her hand. He thought in his heart and then said out loud that he wanted to see her face again tomorrow. Ai got very shy. At that moment, Ai remembered something from her childhood. She went to buy ice cream with 100 yen, but the price was 130 yen. Kaede was also there. He told her the price was more and then lent her 30 yen so she could get the ice cream. Ai told them she could not see the price because Ice hid her glasses. Ai told her dad about this, and her dad said maybe Icy wanted to marry her, but Kaede said hiding glasses was too much. He offered to walk Ai home. Ai said he was kind like her dad. She also said she knew the way in that area because she often forgot her glasses, and maybe she should marry someone who always took care of her. That day, Kaede realized he started to like Ai. Now he was happy that a special relationship had formed between them.